Welcome to the Just Jim radio show. I don't know about you, but I'm grateful to be here. So grateful to be here. Grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that I live in paradise. I'm here in Sarasota, Florida today doing my thing as I do. Um, and this show, Just Jim, is titled that because it's meant to bring the practical, the inspirational, the informational, talk about ideas and concepts, ways of seeing life, each other, ourselves differently, to create an opening maybe that is like opening a window or pulling the drapes and getting more light in our lives to see clearer, or opening doors to walk through of opportunity, or to be able to express ourselves differently, or create or manifest or express or experience. My God, there's no limits to whatever it is that we can look at that sparks that part of us that makes a difference. We do that through interviews, through conversations, through discussions about topics. And I've been doing this for longer than I want to say. Over 40 years, I've been working with helping people make a difference in their lives in many, many different ways. If you really have an interest in all of that, you can certainly look at my information on my website, on my podcast site, and the Facebook. A lot going on there for you to take a look at if you want to. This isn't about me. This is about me being here with you and sharing a little bit today about something that I believe, is important to each and all of us. And not only am I going to be doing this show on it, it's kind of an introduction to a class I'll be offering in late October, just after this show. So take a look at the calendar on SarasotaCenterofLight.com and see where that class is. It's there for you to be able to get a little bit more of an in-depth view of what I'll be talking about today. And what we're talking about today is following the flow of inspiration and intuition. Inspiration and intuition, those sound like interesting topics, don't they? We can get complicated about things, or we can keep things simple. And we call this Just Jim for a reason. We're looking to keep this pretty straightforward. We're really looking to see how inspiration, and boy, does that have many different facets, actually is something we can tap into, draw on, experience, express, have it affect our lives. And as we do, it actually creates the intuition that we rely on as we turn within to ourselves. So let's look at the first part of what we're talking about here is inspiration. I like to take words apart, and that's just something I enjoy doing. Inspiration. Looking at the word, it's like letting our spirit in, or allowing the energy of our spirit into our lives, into our awareness, into our consciousness. And keep in mind, when I say spirit, it's going to be different for everybody. It's that spark of life that we are, that's constantly expressing and reflecting, and that we're an expression of always. For some, spirit can be spiritual. For some, it might be that deep knowing of who they are and the reflection of that. For some, it's God. For some, it's the universe. For some, it's all that is. It's about that, in this moment, the individual expression of that spark of life that you are, of your heart, of your soul, that's making its way through you, as you, and into your life. And everybody, looks to different sources. Some of you may be saying, well, inspiration is, something that I experience when I'm doing something I really enjoy, or when I feel like something I see is a wow or an aha moment. For some of you, it might be more spiritual or religious. For some, it might be the world and what somebody's doing in another country or another culture. We have this vehicle, the internet, that we can see so many things happening in so many different places. Or a statement somebody may have made hundreds of years ago, decades ago, last week. Social media gives us so much access to inspirational ideas and videos and so on. What's important about that is that whatever it is for you, whatever it is for you, that you let the spirit of it in. Because your spirit, the reflection of your inner knowing, of your soul, of your being, of your energy of life, is fueled by tapping into your own spirit or inspiration within, and to whatever degree that we call on or call for or experience something in life around us that then sparks or stirs that. It's not as if we're looking for something we're not, because we are that essence of life expressed. We are our spirits showing up each and every day. We're looking for something that we may not believe already exists. What does that mean? That means that here I sit, not sure, not certain. And for those who might look at it from a religious point of view, you might pray. Or for those of you who are trying to understand yourself better, you might read a book or watch a video. You might go to a class, mostly online right now, but there are different ways that we can access what we believe we need from outside ourselves because we don't believe we already have it. Now, from my point of view, we are already everything we need to be. Okay, I know. Wait a minute, you've got a list as long as your arm about how you want things to be different, or things you want to have that you don't, or how you want to be different than you have been before. I get it, I know, we're all in that same place. Sometimes a person might show up in our lives and going like, wow, look at that person. And then all of a sudden we're going like, oh, look at me. Well, it's all different for each one of us. And the key here is beginning to turn within and begin to create a relationship with the reflection of your own inner knowing, your own inner guidance, this part of who you are. That's your intuition beginning to show up as your spirit expressing itself within you. And as you start to work on playing with this process of looking within, and seeing how much you already believe who you are and who you want to be, then you can begin to understand that your spirit can just simply become brighter and bigger. It's kind of like your awareness and your consciousness. You're able to experience more of the I am you are, or you can be more of all you can be, which is all that is. There's no limits. It's only what you believe. So whether you're calling on inspiration to be drawn to you, or whether you're looking for it in your world or in other people or in other things or in your faith or in a philosophy, it really doesn't matter as much as long as you're open to recognizing that you are spirit within, and that the inspiration or the energy of life and of spirit is also all around in everything that you experience. And as you begin to draw on that, we can call on that vibration and or that inspiration or that experience we're having, and have it move into us and through us. Now, anything we experience, and this is measurable scientifically if you want to go in that direction, is vibration. It's energy. We are energy. We're measurable energy at varying densities and varying levels of frequency within our being, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And all of that changes as we think or feel or act differently. Very measurably, very proven. And so as we're tapping into inspiration and it moves through us, it becomes part of who we are. It anchors that energy as us. And so we're taking on that inspiration as part of the sort of garments of our expression and experience. And as we embody this inspiration within us as part of your expression, it becomes your intuition. The more you draw on the inspiration that you call on, have come to you and through you, that you see in life, that you see in each other, that you experience in whatever you're reading or looking at or listening to, or that you see in others or other situations, That's the spark of life that then is reflected because you're tapping into it. Now, we all have the choice, don't we? Where are we looking? What are we looking at? What are we putting our attention on? What are we allowing to reflect to us? What are we drawing to ourselves? We could look at the law of attraction. What are we drawing to ourselves? Well, part of that has to do with where we are and who we are. So I'm not going to get into a whole long process about that, but wherever you are and whoever you are, where are you putting your attention? What are you drawing to yourself? What are you experiencing? Is it inspiring you? Or are the situations and circumstances that are going on in your life, and I could list dozens of them right now. We can start with COVID. We can look at all the different things that are showing up on social media, the news. We've got a political process going on right now in our world. That's huge. It's got everybody's attention, or at least some people's attention. And it's something that we're all a part of, and it's having an impact and an influence on us. So it's our personal choice to begin to say, where am I going to put my attention? What am I going to allow in? Because as I do, that's what I become. You walk into a room of happy people, immediately, even if you're a little down, you feel up. You walk into a very serious situation where people are discussing something very serious, you can feel that vibration, and it ripples through you. And so that's kind of how inspiration, as we choose our sources of it, whatever it might be, from beyond and above us, from life around us, we tap into and draw it to ourselves, and it becomes who we are. And that process does require a couple of things that are important. Trust is a big piece of the puzzle. How much you trust yourself, how much you trust the world, how much you trust the universe, God, source, spirit. There's, all these different things that you could call what you trust. Trusting the source of inspiration that you're looking to is huge. It's how big the gateway of that flow of inspiration can come to you, and how much you can allow that to stoke and elevate the flame of your love in your heart, or the inspiration of your spirit, and so that it becomes a part of who you are. So as you're making your way during this time where you're having moved through this process, and we're beginning at least to consider and beginning to emerge from these circumstances and situations into a world that's on some level a little bit chaotic and a lot of things going on in it, it's important to know that you trust yourself, and then bring your attention to what you do trust, and allow that inspiration to set you free a bit by establishing your truth within. So when we look at intuition, the word intuition, it's looking into it. Looking into it. That spirit that you are, that you have drawn to your life, that you're drawing to your life, that's really the basis of what inspires or stirs or has you think, feel, act. It's what is the basis of your inner guidance, your inner knowing, as I have said. Into it, into your spirit, intuition is what allows that to make its way as you into your life. And keep in mind, energy flows. Energy flows. We know this. We know it. It ripples, it flows, it moves. It's not sitting someplace. It's constantly reflecting and expressing itself. And as